Yeah! Get up!
What is up, everybody? We are out on a lovely Saturday morning in Roseville, California. So some might be wondering what I'm doing out here. Do you really need a reason when you're riding? So we're out here in Roseville, California, riding around on my own stomping ground. I used to live out in this direction. Yeah, that's kind of a nice Lexus right there. I don't think I've ever seen that model. Oh, speaking of models I've never seen, what is that? Is that a Honda Goldwing? Sorry if I'm staring at you, buddy, but that is a strange, in a good way, looking bike. So anyway, we're out here ogling cars and motorcycles, and wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today, though, about something else that I'm passionate about other than cars and motorcycles, and that is theater, specifically community theater. Now, the difference between, if you're not aware, between community theater and, you know, regular theater, and some community theaters are not as well put together as other community theaters. I'm proud to be part of a company that is not only very professional in its dealings with the community and with its actors and its musicians and directors and choreographers, but it also puts on quality performances. And people who come to see productions at the Woodland Opera House, which is where I do most of my shows, they know what to expect. And I've heard a lot of feedback from audiences that they think that we are a professional company, and that's pretty cool. And they say, you know, we've seen professional companies that don't do as good as work as you guys do, so that is high praise from any audience, and I'll take that any day of the week. But the big difference between community theater and professional theater is that the actors don't get paid in community theater. We do what we do, and we do it because we love it, because we're passionate about it. We all have day jobs. Acting is not what we do by trade, and very, very rarely will we get like a stipend for gas, and then that's always really really awesome. You know, we all know that most of the time we're going to do this for free. But what I also wanted to talk about, other than the fact that acting and community theater is something I'm really passionate about, is that theater in general, and acting and the dramatic arts, and really the arts in general, music, all of these things are teaching some great principles to young people. Now, I bring this up specifically because I know that people who watch the channel and people who you know, are into motorcycles in general, I think are probably a little bit more into I would think like sports and more testosterone based things, sports, racing, cars, motorcycles. And I don't know that there's a lot of crossover between theater and that, but I know that there is likely a lot of crossover between cars and motorcycles and sports. But let me tell you from experience, because I've been doing this since I was in high school, that theater provides a lot of the same opportunities that kids get, and a lot of the same principles that you would want your child to learn from sports. And just to name a few, one of them is teamwork. Now, in sports, obviously you're learning teamwork because no athletic sports team can have one person who does it all. You've got to work as a team, and you've got to learn to do things together, and that is a great principle to learn, and have fun at the same time. Now, you get all of that in theater because even though it might seem like, oh well, I go to a show and I see one guy or one girl, or you know, a few handful of people who lead the show, but these shows are nothing. And really, I say this with all sincerity because I've been part of the ensemble, and I know how important the ensemble is. I'm talking about the people who come out and do the little dance numbers, the people who come in and fill the stage with song. These people, they can make or break a performance. And you learn that the entire cast has to contribute to make a successful show. And this is where they learn teamwork, and they learn how to work together. And a lot of the times, you're going to learn a lot more teamwork skills, I think, in theater than you will in sports. I can recall sports teams, basketball teams, football teams, where I didn't talk to people. I didn't learn how to work as a team. Now, did we have to learn to work and play together? Yes, but verbal communication was never something that we were encouraged or learned about. I mean, sometimes the players didn't do a lot of talking at all. It was the coaches that do all the talking. But in theater, you've got to be able to trust each other, and you've got to be able to communicate verbally with one another. And that's something, and I'm not going to, this isn't to bag on sports at all, because again, I love sports and I grew up playing sports. But this is just to say that there are other ways for your children, and for you, if you're a younger person, or if you're somebody who's thinking about getting into theater, these are some of the same principles that you're going to learn from being on stage and putting on productions than you do playing sports. So one of the other things that you learn from doing theater and the dramatic arts is confidence. Now again, you can learn confidence from playing sports. You can be proud of the product that you put on the field. By all means, yes, that is something that happens. But when you're on stage, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like the rush you get from coming out on stage, performing for an audience, and hearing them scream and cheer for you. I mean, it's just a really cool thing. It's something that I don't think, in all of my years of experience of doing all these other things, sports, and there's nothing like getting the applause. It's a really cool rush. And again, it's not comparable, I think, to a lot of things that you'll experience in life. So, and that's a huge confidence builder. When people stand up and cheer for you because of something that you did, I like to see the workplace where you go, where people will applaud your work. So again, I have a day job, and I like where I work. I like my coworkers, but my coworkers never clap for me when I'm finished doing my paperwork. I guess it's just not inspiring. But anyway, so I got one more thing here for you that theater helps me out with, and that is a sense of community. Now, this is something that kids and adults, they seek out because they're looking for a sense of support, for a sense of community, and they'll find that in sports to an extent. You'll find that, and where a lot of kids go, and what's really sad and tragic, is that they'll go to gangs because, you know, they don't have that family life at home, or they're looking for some place to belong. And I can tell you, and I'll compare it, if you've ever seen the what do they call that? The stop animation movie, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know about the Island of Misfit Toys. And I'm not saying that every theater group is the Island of Misfit Toys, but a lot of the times, theater and theater companies are the only place where these kids, sometimes adults, can feel welcome and feel like a part of something. And that to me is really special. And it's something that, again, that I don't think you can reproduce anywhere else. And I say this specifically, again, I'm not trying to bag on sports. If it sounds like I am not, because I encourage my kids to play sports. I love sports, and you know, sports can be great for people, but I was bullied in sports a lot, you know, for being too small, for being fat, you know, and that's just the nature of things. And this is not to say that you're not going to find these things in theater, that kids aren't going to get bullied, that you're not going to get bullied in theater, because it does happen. But here's what I will say about this, and this is kind of to bring it all together, is that it really depends on where you go, and who the coach is, or who the director is, or who the instructor is, if you're talking about dance. I mean, these are the kinds of things that if you're looking to get into something, or if you're looking for your kids to get into something, really, really take a look at who's teaching, who's the coach, because really these things have a huge impact. You know, I had some terrible football coaches who didn't build any confidence in us, who yelled at us, who, you know, made us feel like garbage. And I mean, that's you know, a lot of people will say they just do that so they can build you back up, but I am not a person under the belief that that is necessary to build somebody up. And I know that's something that they do in the military too. My dad was in the military. I actually wanted to be in the military as well, but was unable to do so, and we'll get into that right now. But anyway, I might have rambled on a little bit about this topic, but it's something, again, that I'm really passionate about. You won't really hear me talk about it all that much on the channel, but I felt like, oh man, that was terrible. I felt like that I needed to get my feelings out there about it, and for it to be out there on the record, because again, if this channel is going to reflect me and my personality and the things that I'm passionate about, then definitely theater's got to be out there. I'm gonna get out of this lane. That is apparently getting a lot of work done on it. But if we're gonna talk about things that I'm passionate about other than motorcycles, theater's got to be one of the #1 things on my list. Obviously family as well. I don't talk about my family enough on this channel, but again, I don't really advertise my family either on this channel. My wife's kind of been on the channel. My kids you'll see every once in a while, but I don't really like to show their faces. I mean, it's just kind of a safety thing. Eventually there will be more of them on it as they get older, and it's more of their choice whether or not they want to be on the channel. But I want them to be able to make that choice on their own, and not feel like I'm coaxing them to be part of something that they don't necessarily want to be a part of. So anyway, a little bit off topic, but that is that one guy and his passion for the arts in a nutshell, and passion for family. Hey, and as always, I'm passionate about motorcycles. So guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up down there, which is the like button. Also, if you're so inclined, hit the subscribe button, which I'll pop up right over here. And over in this direction, I'll throw up some videos so you can go straight to one of my other moto vlogs. Guys, if you are riding, be safe. And if you're not riding, get riding. This is that one guy, and I am out.